DJ is still important. The thing is though, it's like the engineer is what's going to make the DJ matter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if it doesn't get past the engineer, it's not getting to the DJ. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so that's the thing. I found out, a lot of people don't know this either. I found out that you have to have a certain kind of ear to be able to pinpoint, or fresh ears to be able to pinpoint how a song is going to sound, which is why sometimes, like, instead of just having me listen to a song, I have someone else listen to a song and they assess it and tell me whatever, give me feedback, like good or bad, because I don't care. Like, I'm gonna fix it. Like, that's how I look at it. Like, you can give me the worst feedback or whatever, like, and it's not gonna destroy my confidence either, because, like, you know, self-esteem is self-esteem. But if the song is a dud, shoot, I'll probably trash it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how I look at it. And if it's not, I know that I have to work on it more.
Right.
So, like I said, this goes back to, like, the beginning of our conversation where we were talking about how tedious it could be to just sit in the studio, like, all hours of the night. Trust me, it'd be a blessing to go into a state-of-the-art studio and be there for 24, 48 hours. And I guarantee you I'd walk out there with more than enough material, like, to last for, like, a year at least. I'd invite all the people I want to invite through there, and I would know. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I had to go through all this stuff, like, alone at first. And, you know, we had no resources like that. We had, like, freaking, like everyone chipped in, like, mostly, like, my older brother and, like, his friends, like, chipped in onto the microphone, and it was, like, the baby bottle, the baby blue bottle, something like that.
Yeah.
That microphone, and that was our only way of recording. Our only engineer was my brother, so it was like, if he wasn't at work, we were hoping to record. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and people underestimate that shit, like, and how much it affects you as an artist. Like, when you want to record or you want to get something done, like, that'd be all you be thinking about. Like, man, like, that'd be all you clocking. That's all you trying to figure out. Right. So, you know, having a situation like that, especially knowing that I couldn't always record with my brother, right, it was necessary to network and branch out. You know, and it was probably the best thing that could have happened to me. Like, you know, because I wouldn't have been able to get my own equipment, and, you know, I wouldn't have had the urge or the want to go out and get my own equipment. Because not to like put our business out there like that, but me and my brother have fought over studio shit before. Like, you know what I mean? Just petty shit though. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's what brothers do
all the time. Like, you know, and it's just necessary because, you know, it's growing pains. Like, I don't really sweat the small stuff when it comes to that. I just really see it for what it is, and I gotta just move forth with it. Like, you know, and that was what it was, to learn about all the technical aspects and understand that there's still a bunch of shit. Like, even though I can record a song by myself or whoever, there's still mad stuff I don't know in regards to quality. Right. So you can record a song, but if the quality isn't there, it's a good chance that it's not going to be what you want it to be. You know?
Yeah, definitely. That's another thing that's very important. You know, the mixing aspect and the quality of it. I mean, I've had several issues with that, you know, through the years, and it's crazy. Like, I'll listen to this one song that I recorded at one studio, and I listen to it again at another studio, mixed by different people, and it's like night and day. And it's just...
See, and that was what was funny about this whole entire project. I went to multiple studios, so, like, it's like 2 years ago, like, I was going to, like, a spot called Red Light Recordings, like, you know, shout out to, like, Joey DeCanto and, like, his bands. He has, like, several of them, like American Caskets, it's like rock group, and the Ghost in the Crown. They also have music as well. It's two separate bands, but, you know what I mean, he's in both of them, and he was engineering for me. And yeah, like, that was where I recorded majority of the few songs I had, but they weren't completed tracks. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they were just trial versions, so to say. Right. And yeah, references. Better way to describe it. I don't like using references all the time because I feel like references is like, some of these songs don't even come to fruition. Like, you know what I mean? So it's not a reference if I don't finish it. Like, you know what I mean? Right. So, like, regardless of it, like, or if I don't even have plans to finish it, like, you know what I mean? Some of these songs, like, I didn't even know what was gonna happen to them. Like, I just thought they were just like vibes, man. Like, I was doing mad weird shit, like, just trying to finish songs. Like, I would freaking ride from the South Shore to the North Shore to just catch a vibe, and that's like when I created like that I Love America song or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And ironically, like that same day was like the day like Dylan Roof like shot up like a church of people or whatever. Like you know what I mean? So it was like all that energy, like you know what I mean? Like vibration wise, to me adds up. Like you know,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to complete some things had certain stuff not gone to a certain way, and I'm appreciative of that. All the studios I was in, shout out to everybody who helped, and like all the producers and you know the ones I met and the ones I didn't meet, because there's a lot of stuff that just happened off of the whim. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? I got a beat from a Russian producer randomly, like you know what I mean, in my email, like, and I didn't.
Sounds mad sus right now.
It really did, but you know what's funny about it, and this is a little gem I'm gonna drop for y'all. Like, if you listen to one of the songs on there, like that he produced, and it's like the Overthinking track. That's what it's called. And try to listen to the beat alone without the lyrics, and tell me what you hear. Like you know, because me like personally, I know I heard something a certain way, but people will understand the song a little bit more if they actually if they hear the instrumental without the song. Like you know what I mean? Because I didn't know the producer. I didn't know the producer initially. He's from St. Petersburg, Virginia. I'm not St. Petersburg, Virginia. St. Petersburg, Russia, or something like that, or like one of those. But he produced. His name is Bass Estrada, and he produced the beat for me. So shout out to him too. Like you know what I mean? Like no bad blood or none of that stuff. And it was just one of those situations where I just really acted upon the beat because the beat inspired me. Like you know what I mean? It was just one of those things. Like I didn't write any of the lyrics before. I just heard the instrumental, and the instrumental itself inspired me. But you just hear like, long story short, to give y'all like a more specific description. It's like you hear somebody like saying something specifically in the background, and I think those are like the technical aspects of like music that I don't really mention to people, or like my music I don't mention to people, because like the stuff like that is cool. And like now you can hear this podcast, and you can go back and you can listen to the song, and you may hear it now. Like you know what I mean? Like there's someone literally in the background of the beat talking, like you know, and you can hear what they're saying. Like you know what I mean? So I made the song after I heard the beat a few times, you know, and I had to make sure I was correct. And I listened in the car, and I listened in like my headphones, and I listened on the computer, and you know, and it's just like it confirmed for me. So that was the direction I went with the song because of that, and you know, and it was just overthinking, overthought, like an over expression, and that's where it stemmed from.
So like with this beat, like is this like the case with like other beats too? Like you kind of just like you plan it out, like you hear something and you're just like, you know what, I could possibly do something to this, but let me just keep hearing and see like actually what you could do with it before you actually make the move to, you know, create.
It varies. I don't have one way to create. Like I feel like there's no one way for me, because there's always going to be countless things I would like to try, you know, and some things won't work for me and other things will. So whenever I hear a beat, if it's popping, I'll write to it on the spot. Like Todd tell you, like there's been plenty of occasions where like I just, you know, we just go into the studio, just play beat or whatever, like make a beat from scratch or something like that, and we just start writing right there. Or it could just be a beat you sent to me or whatever, and then I write, and then I go from there. You know, it's just, it's a matter of the vibe and just like what the song's about and like what it's going to reflect upon.
Right.
And, you know, if I can do it. Like, if I sound like trash in it, I'd rather you take me off the song. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't mind that.
People get real sensitive about that.
Yeah, people get real sensitive about that. But, you know, like, I'm at a point where, because people got sensitive about that, I can't get sensitive about that. Like, you know what I mean? It's because there's more songs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Like, what, you going to be upset about this one song? So you're going to put all your energy being upset about the fact that you're not on this one song, and then you could have made, like, several others.
Yeah, it's like when somebody crops you out of their profile picture.
Yeah, like, you know, you get someone take you, like, you know, someone takes you out of their top 8 on MySpace. So it's like, who cares? Like, you know, it's like, there's other things you can focus on, like, you know? So I'm just focused on the next best thing, because if that's completed, then that's old news anyway.
Right.
You know, so the next step is not focusing on the next guy what the next person is doing. Like, you know what I mean? Like that is like such a outdated template for me.
Right.
You know, so that's why the best way I know how to describe it right now.
Yeah, I feel you. So, last question. What do you want the listeners to take from this project?
Just laugh. Like, it was funny as fuck. Like, there was so much laughter going on into this project that I have like I'm a spiritual person, and I have a belief that that's why it was completed. Like, because I had my moments where I just had to just freaking no matter what I was going through, no matter what was happening to me, I just wanted to find a reason to laugh about some shit. Like, you know what I mean? Because, you know, there's so much turmoil and destruction and tragedy we hear about every day, like, spewed to us, or just this person trying to fucking put your life on a metric system. And it's like, I don't care about anything except getting a good laugh. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes all I even give one fuck about is having the ability to laugh or being able to laugh. There's some people who can't even do that. Like, you know what I mean? There's some people who can't articulate themselves. And I mean that in the sense of they legit can't even use their voice. You know what I mean? Picture me being ungrateful for the fact that I even have my voice.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Some people want to utilize that to do dumb shit. I want to utilize it to actually spread a message that I stand for. So the album has like a lot of political drives and a lot of party music, a lot of freaking hip hop, and that was my point. Like, I don't want you to hear it and be like, oh, this is just this genre. You know what I mean?
Right.
It could be a number of genres, but it's all a matter of your perception. The important factor of this entire album is the perception of everything, because it makes you sit down for a moment and be like, you know, perhaps. Maybe this is just my thoughts. Perhaps if it were another way for me in someone else's shoes, I would have dealt with it the same way they would. You know?
Right.
And, you know, from like the tracks like Laughing Orphan and like all these songs, they're focused on not necessarily my perspective of things. I'm not really telling a story from my perspective as much as I'm telling a story from the collective perspective, no matter if I agree with it or not. Like, you know what I mean? It's
right.
It's what we're being force fed every day. To tell me to ignore that is like telling me to accept defeat. Like, you know what I mean? Knowing that the finish line is like a little ways away.
Right.
And I can't accept defeat, knowing the finish line is right there.
I feel you. So, if people want to check this tape out, where do they go?
All right, so you can go to Bandcamp. You could also go to SoundCloud. I'll be putting more songs on there after this podcast. Twitter, check me out. Zeeq, the THEZYC. And that's every single social media platform. That's my name, Zeeq, the ZYC. And, you know, Spotify, I'm going to get that on there through TuneCore, all that, you know, and that's this week. So rest of the summer, you can expect to see it on there. In addition to that, I have like another project like next month. So I just wanted to like get all this music out and just keep working on music because, you know, no one else is stopping. You know, it's like it keeps on going.
Word.
So, yep. If you want to listen to it, hear it out. Let me know. If it's trash, trash it. If it's good, embrace it. I'm not really. I don't have no personal connections with this album anymore.
Right. And once it's out in the universe, it's out.
Yeah, I can't really judge it for myself anymore. Before, I spent months judging it for myself. Like, I spent years judging it for myself. I'm done with that. Like, that's now your task. You know, so I'm working on something new.
Yeah. Coming up, we definitely got to do an episode on how to tell, like, cool rappers that they're really trash.
Yes.
You know, and it's still not, you know, make shit weird.
Yeah.
That's a whole episode by itself. But
I mean, yeah, it's because there's so many topics and so many variables in what we have to actually bring to the final closing conclusion of what that means. But it's like, you know, if I'm being honest, I don't figure anybody to be shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the trash is the best way to describe them because one man's trash is the next man's treasure. You know what I mean? Like, one man's trend is the next man's style. And I just always look at it like that. Like, you know?
You're media trained. That's what's up.
I don't know. I read a lot of books.
I feel you. All right, so yeah, stay tuned. Appreciate y'all for listening.
Bless.